Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode 150 of the Limelight. I'm your host Fareen here. I'm a podcast coach, voice coach, and also an author. I have written a book called Before You Chew That Gum 11 Things to Know Before You Get Married for South Asian Men and Women, and it's available on amazon.in, also in US and UK. Well, today on the hot seat, we have a very high tech personality. He is the co founder of Aura Smart Systems. So, listeners, please welcome our guest, Abrar Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, Abrar. How are you doing today?
Walaikum salam Farheen. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, and it's a pleasure to have you on my podcast.
Perfect. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast as well. I think this is my first podcast, by the way. So it's a very new experience for me, and I'm really excited to be here. To be honest.
Wow, that's really nice to be the first podcast for you. And I think this might help our listeners to know more about what you're doing.
Perfect, perfect. I mean, I'm always looking forward to growing awareness. I mean, increasing awareness about what we do here at Aura, about what we do in our industry.
Hmm.
Because it's still a pretty new industry to a lot of people, right?
Right.
So that's why it's through podcasts and through. I mean, social media is not all there is these days. Podcasts play a very major role, I believe. I mean, I was just speaking to a friend of mine the other day, and he tells me that instead of listening to the radio on his way to work, he listens to podcasts, right?
Right.
So that itself, I think, tells you how people are shifting, and how podcasts are a very important medium of consuming knowledge these days.
Yes, exactly. They are very short, pretty, and knowledgeable, and you can listen to it any time where you're driving, you're cooking, or whenever you're doing a workout also.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
about podcast. Now, let's just focus on you and what you do. Before I ask you questions about your venture, I want you to tell our listeners about yourself.
So just a quick brief for you and your listeners. So my name is Abrar Ahmed, right? And I'm the co-founder and COO of Aura Smart Systems, right? So, in terms of education, my educational background, so I'm an electrical and electronics engineer, and I've graduated from BITS Pilani. And in terms of my professional background, I've previously worked as an IT consultant at this company known as Alpha Data. My complete life, I've spent it in the UAE itself. Right, I've been completely brought up in the UAE itself. So my education background, everything is from the UAE. Right, so you can call me like a typical NRI. That's who I am. Right, so I was working at Alpha Data before I started my entrepreneurial journey in the smart home space. Right, and I think, yeah, that's pretty much it about me.
Well, that's amazing to know. Now, about Aura. Why did you choose, or why did you and your co founder choose the name Aura? And what's Aura Smart Systems about?
Before I come to the answer of why we chose the name Aura, I think it's important to understand how was Aura Smart Systems born. So,
Okay.
or which industry is it in? So, as Aura, we're basically in the smart home industry. All right, in the smart home and the home automation industry, it is quite a new trend these days, wherein people, they try to automate their homes, as in from their phone itself, they can control all of their smart devices and all of their appliances. For example, when a person enters his house, the lights switch on, or for example when the person says that it's movie time, then uh, basically his home theater starts up. So these kind of activities are basically classified under the category of smart homes and home automation. And so when we got into this early on, right, we did not really think of a name for ourselves initially. We had officially registered ourselves as Latitude Engineering Private Limited. So Latitude is technically the opposite of digital. Digital flipped around is latitude, right? So that's how my co-founder thought about it. But then we realized that latitude, telling it to people was extremely difficult, and people did not really understand what it meant in the first place. So we had to change our name immediately. So we were thinking about different names. I mean, we were talking to a lot of different people, what they thought about the industry. We were looking at our own product and what our product does to help people. So the main aim of our company Our main mission is to basically eliminate redundancy from the life of people. So we don't want people to, spend time doing things like, switching on devices, switching off devices, or, be bothered about these kind of very simple tasks. We want them to be focused on what they're doing. We want them to be very alert. I mean, don't want anything to break their flow of creativity. For example, I mean, whenever someone is doing their work, as it is, as humans, our attention span is extremely small. And say, for example, if you're doing something and between someone asks you to switch on the lights or switch off the lights, or, just check the CCTV cameras and see what's happening at home, right, then it becomes very irritating and very annoying because it breaks your flow of things. So what we realized that what our product was helping people do was it was influencing their surroundings. It was helping them to increase their influence on the surroundings. It is basically improving the kind of aura that they have. So this is what aura means. That aura means basically what a person, for example, if I say that a person has a certain aura about him, it means that it has a certain positive characteristic about him. So basically what I felt was we were trying to increase the positivity in our surroundings with our platform. And this is why we realized that, okay, fine, aura makes sense. Why don't we just go ahead and use it then? So yes, I mean that's technically how we came up with the word with the company name Aura, you can say.
Well, that's pretty amazing, Abrar. And the name itself, aura, and the meaning, what it comes to my mind is the energy, as you said, the energy around your body, the actual aura thing is, and you have taken that name and made a system which is automated. It'll help you to improve your life with that. So pretty amazing, and I wish you and your co-founder all the best for this venture of yours.
Thank you so much, Farheen. Need all the support we can in the market, right, and from your listeners as well. At this point, I mean, recently we also, I mean, just to add further information about our venture itself. I mean, recently we raised a round of funding as well from a very well-known VC back in India, right? And currently we're expanding in India and the GCC as well. So hopefully there's a long way to go now. I mean, this is just the beginning, and hopefully we'll be increasing the aura of the entire world eventually. You can say.
Inshallah, and congratulations for the progress you're doing. Okay, and all the best for that.
Thank you, Farheen.
You're welcome. So now again the question comes, whenever someone starts something and it grows and it becomes successful, people wonder like what really sparked it or what really inspired. So what inspired you and your co-founder, to start this smart venture?
Basically, I mean, at the time when I was in Alpharetta, my co-founder, Ashwini, he was working in the same field itself, in residential automation itself, back in Dubai. And he used to work on really marquee projects, like palace automation, yachts, big villas in, Emirates Hills and Palm Jumeirah. So these were all very premium projects, where automation used to be very expensive. And automation, to install the automation out there, used to take weeks and months. The project timeline was pretty long, right? And in the end, the customer's experience was also not that great. It would not be that great. Okay? So what eventually happened was, what we realized was that this industry, the smart home industry, is all about creating an experience. And if you cannot deliver that experience, it means that you have failed. And that's where we saw the opportunity, right? So currently what is happening in the industry is that, you have a lot of different smart devices in the market. You've got different brands coming up with different devices and based on different technologies, right? And people have so much choice that everyone's really confused. So you've got brands having their own brands of smart lights. People come up with their own set of smart ACs. Then you already have smart TVs in the market as it is, and then you have even the smart appliances coming out these days, like fridges, washing machines, which are coming up these days, right? So, but in the end, the customer has access to all of this, but the thing is, he does not have any way of experiencing it in a unified manner, and this has always been lacking in the industry. And we feel that the industry has been lagging behind till this point because he has not been able to experience it in a unified manner. So what has happened is that the smart lights vendor or the manufacturer gives the customer a separate app to use, and the same goes for the smart TV guys. So every vendor or every manufacturer gives their own specific app to the user. So in the end, if a customer has 5 6 different smart devices, he has 5 6 different apps as well, and that just basically spoils the experience. So we wanted to avoid all of this, and we wanted customers to deliver the best possible. I mean, to we wanted to deliver the best possible experience to our consumers and users. And as a result, we want to improve the smart home industry as a whole as well. And this is what the mission of delivering the ideal unified experience to customers is what inspired us to start this smart venture.
As you said, each and every smart device will have an app,
Right.
and it will get really confusing, like so many apps in mobile, which one do I do at one time? But then I want to ask this, in your Aura systems, what are the things, elements which they can connect to? And like the lights are there, do you provide the lights, TV, or what? Like what are the things you provide with?
All right. So basically, we provide like a
Hmm.
small hardware unit we provide to every consumer. And so what happens is the consumer, he can add, if he has a certain brand of smart lights, he can add them. He can add his AC to it. He can add his TVs to it, his speakers to it, his appliances to it as well, and even his cameras. Say if he has any CCTV cameras or some sort of video door phone to control his entrance, or some sort of security sensors, he can add those also to our system, and he can control them all from one single place. And all of these devices can also interact with each other. For example, say now the security sensor is from, say, a brand such as, say, Honeywell, and the lights are, say, from a brand such as Wipro. So using, say, for example, using those Honeywell sensors, he can trigger or he can switch on the Wipro lights, which otherwise would not have been possible, but it is now possible through our platform.
Okay.
So basically, our aim here is that the customer, regardless of which device it is, which brand it is, he should be able to use it through our app. He should be able to experience that in a unified manner. And and as a result, he is able to get better value out of it. Otherwise, what happens is, for example, I just gave the example of these sensors and lights, right?
Right.
Now imagine that the lights were not connected to anything else. So those Wipro lights, he all he's doing is he's switching them on and switching them off. That's all. He's not doing anything else with the lights. And those sensors, he's just getting a notification that, okay, fine, someone has triggered it. That's all. But instead, if he can use the sensors to switch on his lights, then even better. He's getting more value out of it. Right. So
Yeah.
this is exactly the kind of experience that we are trying to deliver to people.
Okay.
And this is, I mean, like I said, in terms of the features and technology, this is just the beginning. I mean, this platform that we have created for different brands and different products, this is just the beginning. We have already started. I mean, and how we approach the market, I'll tell you, is we work through our installation partners. So we have installation partners in India. We have them in out here in the UAE, in Kuwait, and even in Australia as well. We have our installation partners, and they usually go and speak to the end customers, and they get their requirements right, and then they design the entire solution. And at the heart of the solution will be our product, will be the Aura system. So that's exactly how we cater to the users, you can say,
Okay.
right? And how is the Aura system possible, and how is our Aura platform possible is because we collaborate with a lot of other manufacturers as well. For example, we collaborate directly with Wipro, and we've been working with their technical team to integrate all of their solutions. So we've been working directly with, say, Panasonic. We've been in touch with their team. So this way, what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase how rich our ecosystem is.
Okay.
Basically, tomorrow when you're going shopping for a smart device in the market, you don't have to be confused about whether it is compatible with the system or not. You just purchase it, you just add it, you start using it. As simple as that. That's how we want the experience to be eventually.
Okay. So there's one more question I
I,
want to
I
ask.
hope I hope that was not too technical.
No, no, I do
Right?
understand that. One question popped up in my mind is that
Right.
the device which we connect to your Aura system, it must be smart device, right?
Not
Or a
necessary.
normal device also will do.
Even a normal device will do. Because not every device can be smart devices. Can be a smart device, right? Because you have smart lights and you have dumb lights as well,
Hmm.
right? But even the dumb lights, they can be made smart using some extra modules. So
Okay.
there are certain manufacturers in the market who make these smart modules, which we can recommend based on our experience.
Okay.
So regardless of whether the device is dumb or smart, it does not matter. All of it can be automated. But of course, I mean, every device that needs to be automated, we just need to always do some sort of research about how it can be automated. That's about it,
Okay.
right? But
Okay.
otherwise, these days technology has reached such an extent that we can automate anything and everything right now.
Yes, true. Very
Yeah,
true. Right.
absolutely.
Okay, now I'm curious. There's Alexa, there's Siri, they are voice assistant, and every device, Echo and Google device, they have a voice assistant. So does Aura also has a voice assistant?
Yes, yes, of course. So we don't have a voice assistant ourselves,
Hmm.
okay? But instead we work with Alexa or Siri or Google Assistant.
Oh,
So basically, what we are trying to do here is that the user can access his automation through many different ways. He can do it through his phone. He can do it through our app. Basically, we have our own Aura app. He can do
mhm.
it through there. He can also do it through voice as well. He can just say, Alexa, can you please turn this on? Right? Can you please turn on movie time? Can you please turn on guest mode? Can you please turn on good night, for example? So what happens is, once Alexa takes this requirement, takes this command, Alexa will pass it on to our system,
Mhm.
and then we will make the magic work. Right?
Okay.
So this is how it happens. And it's not just the voice part. In addition to that, I mean, our Aura system provides a lot of different functionality as well. For example, now whether you have a new home or whether you have an existing home, it can still be automated, and our system allows you to do that. So your customers, I mean, any customer has the ultimate flexibility when it comes to building a smart home. I mean, a customer does not have to think twice. He can start with something small today, right? He can start with just one single room, and in the future, he can grow it to, I mean, for example, his entire house as well. There are many cases, because what happens is customers in the beginning, they tend to be a little skeptical whether this will work, this will not work, because anything new, customers take some time to adjust, any new technology. So customers have the freedom to start small, and they can grow as well, right? So this is possible with the Aura system as well, right?
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
interesting
the
because
ultimate in flexibility. Ultimate flexibility is what we give to our customers.
yes, yeah. You just have to
Yeah.
say, or just with a one touch, everything is done for you.
Exactly, exactly. And
Yeah,
that's the aim, that's the vision, right? And like I said, we want our ecosystem to be as rich as possible, filled with different brands, different devices. I mean, compatibility will never be an issue the way we are going. Yes, that's the vision, I would say.
that's good. That's really interesting. And inshallah, I will also try to have aura in my home.
Absolutely. You will be our immediate next customer to conduct
Yeah, let's have a talk
the
later on.
inshallah.
Yeah, okay. Now, after all these serious talk, okay, I have
Yeah.
a fun segment for you,
Okay.
and it's called the rapid fire round.
All
I will
right. All
be
right.
asking you three random questions which you can answer in one word or a sentence, okay?
Okay. Okay.
So, oh, my first question is tell us about your one weird habit.
One weird habit. Okay. Using my phone before I go to sleep, I guess. I mean, I can't sleep without checking my phone at least once.
Okay.
So does that, I hope that counts as a weird habit, I guess. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either because even I check my phone and then I sleep. Yeah,
But
if
in
you
this case,
consider that is a weird habit, I think that's okay.
regardless of whether I'm sleepy or not, I still I still check my phone once before going to sleep.
Okay, okay, good. So,
Yeah.
my second question is which is your favorite food?
Favorite food. Okay, now this is an easy one and a tough one
Hmm.
because I'm spoiled for choice here. So, because I'm the kind of guy who eats anything and everything. So, but out here, I think I would keep it simple. I think I'll go with Italian here. Italian, yes, because I love pasta. I love pasta. I love pizza,
Hmm.
and I think that would be followed. I think first would be Italian. Second, I would keep it as Indian, I guess, because who does not love Indian food, right? After all. And I think third, I think
Right.
I would go with Pakistani food. I love Pakistani food as well. Hmm.
Okay.
So I think here I'm spoiled for choice, but okay, fair enough. If I had to choose, then let me just go with Italian, something different.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Now, my last question is, in childhood, you might have seen a lot of cartoons. Um, so, if you
right.
had to be one character in
Right.
from any of those cartoons, which character would you choose to be?
Okay, so I used to watch this cartoon a lot, Dragon Ball Z. I used to watch this a lot back in the day. And if I had to choose, I think I would be the lead character in that cartoon. His name is Goku. So the all-powerful Goku. That's pretty much what I would be, I guess. I would want to be.
Okay,
Mm,
interesting. Very
yeah.
nice. Okay, that was the end of the rapid fire round. Your answers were amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for him. Once again, thank you for inviting me here. I think this has been quite an insightful session. I hope it has been an insightful session for your listeners as well.
Yes, it is. But before we end, we have our last segment for you where I would like to ask your advice for our listeners.
All right. So my advice to your listeners would be that I mean, it's never too late to get started, right, on your dreams and your aspirations. I mean, as humans, we always want something more from life, and I feel that it's never too late to get things started. Yes, I do understand that maybe um I'm still a single guy, and I mean, maybe there might not be a lot of social responsibility on me, but it's always important to take that leap, take that opportunity when it presents itself, and it's important to keep growing, keep learning, and do what's needed to put yourself in the best possible position to grab opportunities. So yeah, that's about it. I guess it's all about developing yourself. So never take a step back. Always ask the right questions, right, and keep growing. Keep growing. That's what my advice would be to your listeners.
That's a wonderful advice. I really like it because you said just go with what you feel like and then, ask questions and keep learning. Well, Abrar, I thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule. I know you are so busy,
And
and you
yeah,
made this
but I had to make time
podcast
for this one. I had to
possible.
make time for this one. So I'm glad that I did, and it was a pleasure being on your show, Fareen.
Thank you so much. Okay, listeners, if you have liked this episode, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also on Spotify. The snippets of this podcast will be available on Facebook, Instagram, and 6 other podcasting platforms. Thank you for listening. You have a great day ahead. Stay safe, stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.